Hello. So, the video that you're going to see, I have headphones in, so I've got a mic. The video you're about to see is probably one of the most boring videos I've ever made. Honestly, I had every intention of it turning out a lot better than this because when I first started the first few clips, the very, very first few clips that you'll see where I'm writing really scruffy with like green pen or whatever colour pen it is in a spiral notebook, it very quickly changes. They were recorded a long, long, long time ago, probably around about May of this year, May, June time of this year. At that point in my life, my computer was over in that corner. It isn't now. I've banished it to my parents' house because the desk was too big and it's in my parents' dining room. I'm still, I can still use it, whatever. But I kept really badly banging my head on the corner of it, and it was like causing bruising and lumps, and I don't know why in that one specific corner. I have plugs in that and I kept on trying to reach down. Wasn't a great time. It was just too big for this room. It just wasn't vibing. So my original plan was I was gonna record myself writing out all my voice notes for when I was in Australia. I can never be bothered to write out because I just want to chill when I'm there. I'm on my Ollie-bobs, you know what I mean? I just want to chill when I'm there. And so I don't really want to sit there and write all day because I procrastinate and it takes me like all day to write something. And so the way I've, come across this, the way I've kind of dealt with this is by just voice noting every night, just a couple of minutes, 2 to 5 minutes usually of what I do each day when I'm there. Today I did this, I woke up at this time, I ate this, I went here, I went there, etc., etc. And when I come back to England, I will write it out. I did it the first time I went and I did it this time as well. This time was just a lot longer. And so in between those very first initial clips that you see and the clips afterwards where I'm writing a lot neater in a different book, my laptop was my computer, sorry, was banished. Have I been saying laptop? I meant my desktop. I had a desktop computer. So I've been stuck with my laptop, which is really, really hard to film on. Not on, but film, get a good angle. I had a good angle of my desk because I used to put my tripod on my bedside table and you could see the whole area, and it would have been quite an aesthetic, quite ASMR-ish video if I but once I start a project, I can't really not finish them. And so I did the best I could with my laptop. And you'll find out towards the end of the video, I discovered what dictation was, or ditation, or whatever it's called, where you can just speak into your computer's microphone and it will just write it for you. And so there isn't very many clips of me actually typing. Didn't turn out how I wanted it to. But I still wanted to keep this video up because I don't make these videos for views. I make these videos to document my life, everything to do with my life. The boring, the exciting, the nitty gritty, everything about my life I just like to have record of. My memory isn't great and I just like to look back sometimes, you know what I mean? So I am sorry that this video is really, really boring. Did I mention I'm recording this on my phone? My computer's, no. Right piece of equipment, Alex. My camera is dead. And I don't really want to find the charger for it. I do have my batteries charged, but I am busy right now, so writing still, like I'm still in the middle of writing. Very, very almost done. So like I'm recording this as I'm almost finished, and then I'll record an outro probably. And I'll probably look identical to this because I'm probably gonna get this finished today. So I'll probably record the outro today, maybe. We know what I'm like with procrastinating though, so I'm not really too sure. So yeah, I am sorry again. Unless you're like really invested in my life, you're very welcome to skip this video because it's just very boring. Yes, I am talking through a lot of it and I'm probably just going to be, haven't done it yet, but I'm probably just going to be talking about absolute rubbish. But feel free to stick around if you want, have a little chill. Have just my voice on in the background if for some bizarre reason it soothes you. But yeah, sorry again. Please enjoy the video. Okay, so welcome to one of the most boringest videos you'll ever watch. This was filmed, these two specific clips, the one you see with the spiral notebook, was filmed, golly gosh, probably May, very, very early June time is what I'm guessing. This one as well. Very, very scraggly. That's how I was originally planning on doing it, just very, very scraggly, but we'll see in about 30 seconds when it chimes over to the new and improved book. Between then and when I decided to pick back up on this project, I had used all the paper from that book, writing addresses on for the 140 or 150 things I was selling on eBay. I was using that paper because it was lined to write the addresses on, so I needed a new notebook. And here is the new notebook. And so I was like, I want to make it all neat and put little clouds around it, which I did actually stick to. Like, I stuck to it for the whole thing. This book was the most annoying book in the world. My mum bought it for me, so thank you, Mother. But it's the most annoying book in the world because you can't, with a spiral notebook, you can like fold it back on itself. You couldn't do it, and it got really annoying like when you were trying to write in bed or a lot later into this project when I was typing it all up. I couldn't sit, like usually I sit with my laptop on the top of my knee and I have whatever I'm referencing like underneath. It's kind of hard to explain. And I couldn't do that with this book. It was just, I wouldn't do any more projects in that book. Great little notebook, very, very cute, and I love it a lot, but not for when I'm just trying to be productive, you know what I mean? So what this project really it's not even really a project. I made a project out of it because I did all this. So what I did was I went to Australia, obviously, if people didn't know that. Hello, I went to Australia. That's my entire personality trait at this moment, by this point. My walls are covered in it. The personality is covered in it. I'm just really proud that I went to Australia. Anyway. I wanted to document, this is the second time I've been earlier this year, and the first time I went I started to document everything I was doing. I was there for 28 days of the first time, 28, 29 days, something like that, and I wrote down for the most part everything I did every day because I wasn't there that many days. This time, however, I was there for 66 days. I was there for 2 and a bit months, which is a lot longer. It's over double the amount of time, nearly triple the amount of time that I was there for. Double and a bit, if that's a thing. I'm not really too sure. But I decided quite early on, about 2 weeks into my trip, that I was not... Where have I gone? Alex, come back. Alex. All right, okay. So I decided about 2 weeks into the trip that I didn't want to spend my trip that I've waited so long to go on to sit there and write, because it takes me a long time to sit down and find the motivation to type. So I decided I've mentioned this at the start of the video and probably at the end of the video as well. Just take a couple of minutes out my night to just voice note what I did. And I was like, I'll do it when I get home. I'll write it out when I get home. And yeah, in theory, that's a great idea. Top-notch idea. But when you get back home and real life sets back in again, and you've come off your high of being in the land of your dreams with the person of your dreams, and you kind of get back into real life and the real hustle and bustle of life, and you just... I've sold 160, 150 things on eBay in the past 4 months, and it took a lot out of me, and that's what I was doing pretty much for the entire time. Between the first clips you saw, which is just after I came back from Australia, and these clips, which I remember writing this, it was literally like 2 weeks ago. So it wasn't the best. And so I voice noted everything in Australia. And yeah, I have put off this project. And it has taken me 2 weeks to listen to the voice notes, write them all out, and then type them up. Why I decided to write them out and then type them up, because you can't really tell
from this video, but I'm writing them in my version of shorthand. It's not shorthand because I've never been able to write in shorthand because I'm too much of a perfectionist to write in not proper full sentences, you know what I mean? But it's my version of shorthand. I'm not writing in, as you can see, I'm writing in bullet points. And in my head, each bullet point is a sentence I can expand on when I'm writing it for real. So when you see me writing it for real, if you can actually read what I'm writing there, what you see me typing later, you don't see me typing at all because I'll get to that. I'm writing a lot more than what I'm writing here because this is my version of shorthand. I'm just writing down the basic notes and I expand on that. I do what I taught myself in school was, I never learned it in school, but I kind of deemed myself, was called the sandwich method. So you'd be given a statement. So for example, oh, John likes biscuits, right? So imagine that's your sentence. And you have to make a sandwich out of that. So you've got to write something at the beginning and something at the end to expand that sandwich. People probably did learn it this way in school, but I kind of just came up with it myself until one time when I was like 13 and I was tutoring an American, I don't really know, I was a kid, on English class. Like she was American and all that, but she kept failing this English quiz or something. So I taught her this way. She goes, oh yeah, we learn it that way. I'm like, oh, well, I thought it was my special way, but apparently not. Anyway, and so John likes biscuits. Is that what I said? Something like that. And so you could start the sentence by saying, I spoke to Sally earlier. Did you know John likes biscuits, comma, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? That was a really bad example. It is 12 minutes past 2 in the morning as I'm doing this, you know what I mean? And my brain isn't all there, but I didn't wake up till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and like I'm not letting myself sleep right now because, but if I don't sleep right now, then I'm gonna be in the same stupid sleep schedule. And if you could actually read what I'm writing every single day, is I didn't wake up till this time. I have a real bad issue with my sleep. It's like I've been on all sorts of meds with it, but we're not getting into it. But I've noticed a pattern now. It happens when I'm stressed. It happens when I'm under immense stress. But I'm not really under immense stress right now. But this project, as much as I love doing it, as much as I really loved reliving, that's a mouthful to say, as much as I really loved reliving the times I spent with the person I love, it was a very daunting task to do it this way. I don't know why I did it this way, you know? Sorry, a bit of a break in my audio there. My laptop, I'm not on my laptop, obviously, I'm on my phone, but my laptop got a thing saying it was dying. And so I was like, well, I need to unplug my phone, but my phone's only on 46%, so I just needed to just sort some things out. So my phone's going to get unplugged, and we're going to plug in my laptop. I'm a professional YouTuber, right? But I'm not. And I don't ever really want to be or plan to be, because that's not real life, is it? You know? I was watching a video the other day, actually. There we go. I was watching a video the other day about that family vlogger mum who has like gone to prison, or there's charges filed against her or something, not to become a conspiracy YouTuber. That's why I'm not mentioning any names. But like, why would you tie your kids up with like duct tape or whatever? Some people just for YouTube. Like, obviously she was just in it for the YouTube, like for the money, and she was having kids just for the money. And like, it's just not, you know, I'd never, like, the only reason I like making videos is because I love to document my life, but not for money. Like, I don't care. I don't care about that. I would like to become a streamer one day. Like, I am going to start streaming again, actually, for those that follow my streams. I have mentioned in the past my YouTube account very briefly on my stream, so I don't know if any of you found it. But I haven't streamed. I've streamed once since coming back from Australia. I've just been dealing with a lot. Not even really bad stuff. I haven't been dealing with anything bad. But the things I've been dealing with are kind of sparsing out now, if that's a term to use. And so soon I'll be able to start streaming pretty much full time
at least 4 days a week, again, for about 3 hours a day. I hope, because I do want streaming to be a career of mine. YouTube doesn't really, being a YouTuber, like predominantly a YouTuber, like I have created a second channel now. I don't know if people have noticed. I have created the second channel. I think it's called Duckling Alex Archives or something. It's literally just, I'm going to try and put my archives for my streams on there. If that ends up getting monetized or whatever, I don't know the rules behind that, then that's that. But I don't really want to be a YouTuber. I just really enjoy making videos for my girlfriend, because I don't see her much, for my mum, because I don't live with her anymore, just so I can be like, yo, look at what I'm doing. Look at me writing in a book. But yeah, I don't even know what I'm writing about here. What day am I on? Sunday the 19th of March. What did I do on Sunday the 19th of March? Was that the day when I went to get foil? I think that was the day when I went all the way to Woolworths to get foil, because I used to like to eat these chicken, I like popcorn chicken, like you'd get from KFC, but you'd buy them and put them in your freezer kind of thing and cook them at home, obviously. But the pan, the what are they called? Baking tray? The baking tray thing that I was at the can tell I'm not Gordon Ramsay. The holes between, not really the holes, the the rack thing that goes in the baking tray, right? With the holes was just big enough that some of the popcorn chicken would fall through when cooking them. And so I got foil to lay on top of it so I can cook them on top, because I wasn't taking the thing out and then having to wash the whole thing, because they would have got stuck to the bottom of, you know what I mean? Because like, yeah, I always did wash it through, but like when you cook stuff, it gets stuck unless it's non-stick, and just, I wasn't vibing with that. Like, I try to make my life as efficient and as easy, especially if I'm washing dishes. I absolutely fangirl over doing laundry, especially ever since coming back from Australia. I don't know what it was, like I've never had a washing line before. Like a thing, like a clothesline outside, because I've always lived with my parents and I moved straight into my first apartment, and so I've never had a clothesline before. And every place I've stayed in Australia has like clotheslines, and I just loved it. I felt like I was like in Call the Midwife. I felt like I was in the 1960s with my little washing basket. I was living the dream. But ever since then, even though I don't have a washing line in my apartment, we have like dryer racks. Well, I have a washer dryer, which I usually use, but some of my stuff can't go in the dryer. So I hang that stuff on these little dryer rack things that it plugs in and it heats up. Mine's a posh one. Most of them don't heat up. I forgot where I got mine from, but I use it as a makeshift heater for my bedroom, because my bedroom doesn't have a heater. Alex, get off your phone. Get off your phone, Alex. And so, what was I saying? Yeah, ever since coming back from Australia, I've just, I don't know, I just really like doing laundry. Washing dishes, on the other hand, grosses me out, and it always has done. Like, I don't know, I just don't like it. Where you see me sitting right now, like, this is how dedicated I was on holiday. In these clips here, that is not my table. That is a table that I was staying in. I wasn't staying in the table, I was staying in a lodge in a holiday park. And it was an Airbnb. It was on Airbnb. Usually you can rent them outright through the website. But so in England, there's a place called Haven, which is a holiday park mainly aimed towards like families with young kids. They've got like arcades and entertainment and swimming pools and crazy golf and go-karts and bike hire and climbing walls and dress up mascots and a very expensive gift shop. You know the drill. You know. They got like shows on at night and bingo and prize bingo and all that stuff. I didn't actually see prize bingo. I don't know if they still do that. It's kind of a lot run down. I used to go there every year as a kid. The video mentions it. I'm just saying this to people that might have not me using the placemat as a ruler. That's a good one. This isn't, if you haven't watched one of my past videos, watch the
travelling in Wales, Hafan More video there that will explain where I was. And so you can go on the Haven website and you can say, I'm going to book a holiday. And oh, look, I'm back home now. I didn't do much writing there, did I? But you can book a holiday and you can choose between like a caravan, a lodge, an apartment, whatever, depending on the park you're staying in. But they don't have Wi-Fi. And the place where I was going was the middle of Wales. And Wi-Fi, like internet, like 4G, 3G, 5G ordeal is very, very spotty. A lot better now, actually, than when I remember it. I haven't been for about 10 years. Is my hair wet? I think my hair's really wet in this video. It's not greasy. I would have just got out the shower. I'm so sorry. This is a really horrible angle. Why is it at such a bad angle? Does the angle get fixed up? We'll just have to live with it. So the Wi-Fi is a lot better. Well, not the Wi-Fi, the signal strength, the 4G, 3G ordeal is a lot better now than it used to be. Oh my God, it's focusing on my head and not on the stupid. Right, I'm going to cut this bit out and I'll be back when this bit is not close to my head. Okay, right. It's slightly better now. I didn't want to cut out the whole clip, but it's slightly better now because I'm more towards the side. But it was like this for ages and I wasn't cutting out the whole clip. Like, nah. Because you see me like moving towards down and down the page. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So there are some people some people you can buy. They have some of these caravans and lodges and all that. They have them for sale, which means you can go and buy them. And I really wanted to do this until I realised you couldn't live in them full time. Like, it was my dream as a kid. I think it's every kid's dream at some point to live on wherever you're on holiday. Like the Simpsons episode where Bart fakes the virus so they can get stuck on that cruise ship. You know the episode. It's one of my favourite episodes in the world because, like, he sells all of his stuff, and I've watched it with my parents, I think it was my parents I watched it with. I don't know who else it would have been. And I was like, this was literally me trying to save for Australia, like, all those years ago. Like, I promised my partner I'd go to Australia. Pretty much ever since we met, I was like, I'm going to come to Australia because I've always loved Australia. And when I became, like, not an adult, but like, kind of like 16-ish, which is kind of like deemed as somewhat adult here in the UK, like, you can do everything other than, like, drink and smoke. You can, like, gamble and... Can you gamble? You can definitely buy, like, lottery tickets and stuff at 16. You know, you've reached the age of consent. And I got to 16 and I was like, yeah, I'm serious about this. And so I became this big, massive minimalist. And that's where my minimalism... I did have a blog with like 5,000 followers on, but the blog got closed down. Like, the whole blog website, like the whole app I used got closed down, and it's just a nightmare. But I did have like 5,000 followers on that, and I documented my whole journey. Most of my posts I managed to salvage and put them on my website, minimalismlalix.co.uk, I think. I don't even know my own website. It's literally just me, like, my travel website at the moment, though, because, like, I did become a minimalist to travel to Australia. Like, I did sell all my stuff to save up to go to Australia before I was getting a regular income. Now that I do still follow the minimalism lifestyle, and it does ease my stress levels a lot, and I do like to live quite minimally, just generally. But that's kind of when I was like, all systems go kind of thing. And so this Simpsons episode really, really reminds me of me. And he, like, there's one clip of him, you just see, like, very cartoony style, all like the outlines of where his stuff used to be. And he's just there sleeping on the floor with a jar of his holiday money. I'm like, that was literally me, you know what I mean? I just love that episode so much. And so he doesn't want to leave this holiday because he sees how happy he is and how happy his family is. And so he fakes this virus using this film he found in his hotel room, on the ship, like his ship room. And they stay on board for like months and months and months. But that's kind of like every kid's dream at some point. And oh my God, look at this angle. And until I read it, you couldn't live in them. Like, you could only stay on the park a maximum of 2 months, and the park is closed from like November to March or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted to just live there in a little lodge or a little caravan and just go to the arcades every single day, go for a little swim, even though I can't swim. You know what I mean? It just seemed like a good, but no. So anyway, some people buy them, but their main aim is for them to use them as a holiday home, when, for them, their family, their kids, for like the summer holidays or whatever. They just put their home from home, your second home. But for the rest of the year, they rent them out on Airbnb, and I was like, yes. And they install Wi-Fi usually, and they did. And the Wi-Fi was a bit choppy, is the best way I can describe it, a bit choppy, but it worked. And I was living my life of Riley with my Wi-Fi. And I forgot how we got onto the conversation of this. But yeah, that's where I was filming that last thing. The video's like almost over, and I'm still on that clip. I did warn people. Did I mention it in the video, the beginning of the video, that I'm just going to be speaking a load of rubbish? Most probably. Because I should probably get some sleep soon. There you see my spiral notebook. That had very, 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 very shorthand notes of what I kind of wanted to write about. I did start to kind of jot down things from the voice notes, just to give me a little bit of a helping hand, because it was quite overwhelming. So that's what that was. I did have like a few pages left, like 5, 6, 7 pages left, but not enough to do all of this, you know what I mean? So I just got a nice brand new fresh notebook, because I knew there was going to be a lot to write, and I wanted it all in one place. Clear paper, clear mind, and all that good stuff, Also, this isn't all of what I typed. This, I did leave out a big chunk. So between somewhere around about this point, actually, I had a bit of a wobble again, mentally. Again, as I said, I'm going through a lot right now, mentally. And I had a bit of a wobble until I went to go and stay with me parents for a while. For about a week, which is a long time when this whole project only took me about 2 and a bit weeks. So for a week, it's like half the whole project, which you don't really see much. But I don't really film at my parents' house that much, because I just don't. Even things where I don't have to talk, I just don't. When I'm there, I'm usually there for a reason. It's usually like I'm either spending time with them, or I'm there because I'm having a bit of a wobble, and so I got into bed. I got there quite late. Well, but tea time, dinner time, whatever you want to call it. And I just got into bed with my notebook, and I just was like, I don't want to be on camera right now. I don't want to film. I don't want to set all that up. I just want to feel like I'm doing something useful. And so I just wrote and watched something, and it was just, yeah. That's why I wrote a few notes down, because sometimes I just didn't want to have to keep constantly listening to a voice note. So if I had a bit of downtime, I'd just jotted down the bits I really needed to know. Not enough that I could make a whole blog post out of it, but enough that I could write in my little version of shorthand what it was about. Kind of like expanding on expanding on expanding kind of thing, which is what I was doing. A really long way to go about things, and I don't think I'll do it like this again, because the reason why you don't see me typing all that much, did I mention this in the beginning? I mentioned it either the beginning or the end. I filmed the intro and the outro on the same day. About a week away, like week's journal entries away from finishing this project, so I only had earlier on today, I realised the wonderful invention of, what's it called? Dictation. Where you press the little button on your Mac, and the phone has it as well, the iPhones have it as well, and you talk into the microphone and it types what you talk. Now, I was like, oh my God, this is brilliant. So as I was sat there, holding my notebook up like I was the Pope or a lecturer reading from a script, they're all high and mighty being like, today is Monday, the 13th of March. Today I didn't do much. I had noodles for breakfast. If you read my blogs, you'll laugh at that because that's literally what every single day said. A day I saw my girlfriend and we played Uno. I sat there reading it and I was so mesmerised by it, just typing it perfectly with full stops and commas and brackets where there was brackets and exclamation points and all sorts of good stuff. Just typing it on my laptop like it was me typing. I sat there for a minute and I said, why the hell? Instead of voice noting my days when I was actually in Australia, why didn't I just do this? Why didn't I just sit there like I was making a voice note? But I was instead had the blog post open, that dictation switched on, the microphone switched on, and I just talk like I'm talking right now about what I was doing that day, and it just types it for me there and then. Instead of having to come home and type it all up and write it down and then write it again and then speak it back into my computer. It just seems so ironic, like such a mad waste of time. I just went round in a full circle when I could have just spoke it into my computer to begin with. I genuinely do not understand my logic. I know that dictation exists because I use it on my phone all the time. Because I never type anything on my phone. Ever. The only messages I type on my phone is usually to my girlfriend, or if I'm like trying to craft an email to like my property manager or something. Like something really specific, and that's something that's like usually quite long, or something that contains emojis. I use a lot of emojis with my partner. Then I'll type it any other time. You know, if I want to just jot down a quick note on the Notes app, on my Notability app or whatever, I will just dictation it. I didn't know that's what it was called because I had to actually turn it on my laptop because it wasn't even turned on. But I knew it was a thing on old Apple devices. I don't know about anything else. You know? Mad that. Absolute bonkers that I knew of it, but I didn't think to use it. So next time, I've actually booked Australia now. Told my girlfriend about it. I go from, I can't even remember the dates. 22nd of no, I wish. That's been and gone actually, so it'll be next September, wouldn't it? 22nd of February to the... Is it the 22nd of February? Am I telling a lie? Am I telling a porky? To late February to early April. It's about 6 weeks. So it's longer than the first time. Not as long as the second time. Because I think the second time was a bit too long. But what I've done is I've got a different visa, right? Which means... I only say it was too long last time because of the place I was staying in. I could have stayed, you know, seeing my girlfriend every single day if I could. You know, that was not why it was too long. The place was filthy. Fairly sure it made my girlfriend ill. It was not a fun time. No, I didn't like where it was because it was very, very out the way, which most places are in Australia. That's why I like it, because nothing's really smushed together like it is in England. Like everything's just smushed together. People are like on top of people, but that's how it feels. Like I'm literally like a sardine every time I get on the bus. Like it's not even during rush hour. You know, I don't go out at rush hour. I get the bus at like 1 p.m. and it's like, you're like, it would have been like COVID's wet dream is pretty much what I'm trying to get at. And so I like Australia because it is all spread out, but the last bus to get back home from like the city centre where like all the stuff is was 6:30 p.m. And there was this one time, I remember writing about actually the other day, there was one time I didn't wake up till about 2 p.m, but I wanted to go and buy a screen protector for my phone because I just got the new iPhone because my other phone broke while in Australia. Whole ordeal. And so I wanted to buy a screen protector for it. So I went out to JB Hi-Fi to get a screen protector. By the time I got there and got out of JB Hi-Fi and all that, it was about 5:15, and I wanted to go for food. But the last bus from Elizabeth Quay, so I would have had to get another bus before then, was at 6:30, and that was the last bus to where I was staying, which was South Perth. Here we are typing. Here we are. That's great. I love that. And so it was a pain to get anywhere. And as I said to my mum, I said, you couldn't really live in Australia full time without knowing how to drive, I don't think. Because everything's just a real pain to get. So I suppose the place I'm staying now, actually, this is what I was getting at, is pretty much right opposite a train station. And the trains, from what I remember last time, because where I was staying was on a very busy road and train track and everything else, construction site, everything that is loud was there. And but this place is like opposite a train station, like across the street from a train station, like not super close by. R.I.P. my blue pen. It ran out after doing all that, after highlighting everything. It was just so I could keep track of what I was writing. R.I.P. It's run out. So the trains ran quite late, so I'll be able to get to places a lot easier. But the place I'm staying is very, very small. And as I explained to my girlfriend, the reason why I chose somewhere really, really small was because last time I was in this house with this living room, and I have the same issue at home. I do not use my living room. That makes me sound really lazy, but I just sit on my bed. I'm not sitting in bed. Like, I'm not sitting in bed right now. I'm sitting on my bed. Like, my bed is made. You know, my pillows are up. My blankets are on my bed. Like, my bed is made, but I just sit in here. Like, in my bedroom. That's really all I do. Especially because, like, it's getting cold now. And not the same excuse for Australia, but I'll get to that. And so usually I am used to, and how I live every other day of the year is sitting in one room. It gets cold. You know, I usually just put the heating on in one room. As I said, was getting through the other day, I bring my heater in here, like the heated clothes dryer in here, and I heat this room up. Like, that's just, it's a smaller room. That's just how I live. So I'm not used to using all the space of my house, even though it is only 4 rooms, including the hallway. Hallway, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room, combo. You know, it's an open plan. And so this place is a studio apartment, which everything is like in one room bar the bathroom. And like, I think it would be so much less stress for me because I had to keep cleaning and dusting, especially because I'm there for like over a month. I had to keep cleaning and dusting places that, you know, I wasn't usually cleaning and dusting, that I wasn't using. And, oh look, we're nearly at the end, actually. We're nearly at the end. And so I just thought a studio apartment would be a lot less stress because it'll just be one room. I'll be able to see the mess. I'll be able to clean it up. It's less surfaces, less floor space to keep on top of. It's my holiday, you know, and I don't want to keep spending it. If anyone reads my blogs, that's how much time I spent cleaning. It was nearly every single day, and I like to clean, but I only like to clean because I like to feel like it is clean. And I didn't want to spend all day cleaning again, you know? Okay, so there's a part of this video coming up, which I think I promised people. I'm not really too sure, but I've not muted it. And I haven't sped it up at all, and it's just going to be a bit of an ASMR moment, I forgot the name of it then, where you just hear me click-clacking away. It lasts for a couple of minutes. If you don't like it, skip the last couple of minutes, and the outro is me talking again. So if you don't like ASMR, click away now. Okay, so I don't actually think that was a couple of minutes. I think that was like a minute, if that. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I blabbed on about nothing. I blabbed on about good things at the end because I'm really excited to go to Australia again, to see my girlfriend again, and to just be where I'm happiest, you know? Anything in a smaller place next to a train station will be less overwhelming for me, and I'll be able to get places better. But I've applied for a different visa, which means I'll be able to stay there for longer if that's what feels right at the time, you know? I'm just taking it. I just take life day by day, you know? That's just really how you've got to be. But yeah, I hope everyone's enjoyed this video. It has been quite soothing, actually, watching me type and watching me write. There's something about watching someone write really quickly. It's just really therapeutic. What's it called? Satisfying. It's like really satisfying. Did take too long though, and I never want to write another word again because it did make my hand ache. And my laptop is just not the best for typing really, really long things on it. Is quite small. And I don't know why I type with my pinky finger up. I've noticed that. I don't know why I do that. I'm practically, not the queen anyway, I'm practically the king. Like, look at me go, like that pinky finger is not budging. Like, it's like cemented up there. But I hope everyone has enjoyed this video, and I will see you for another video next week.
Alright, so my hair isn't the same, but it is the same day as the intro that you saw at the very, very start of this video. And I'm done. Everything is uploaded. I'm done. And like, I did take my hair out because it was just getting a bit annoying. It's currently like 10 p.m. 8 minutes to 10. And I am done. I have my notebook. I haven't ticked off, so I've been keeping track by highlighting all the bits I have done. Haven't done the last week yet, but I will. But I'm done. And this is probably the most boringest video anyone's ever watched. But again, I just want to document it all. So this video will be coming up on the 7th, I'd like to say. The 7th of October, I think. I'm not sure, but I think it'll be around about 6th, 7th, 8th, whichever one of them is a Sunday that day, unless something miraculous happens this week and I make a video of it, and that would be this week's video. Probably not, because I don't do anything and I don't go out and I don't see anybody. So, yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this really boring, weird video, which was meant to be good, but things happen, life happens, you know. And yeah, have a great... You watch this on Sundays, most people? I don't know. I don't think people flock to my videos, and if you're Australian, and my girlfriend is, you don't see these until Monday usually. But I was quite on the ball today. I did upload my video quite early today, so I think it might have been still Sunday for the Aussies and New Zealanders and anyone else that's ahead of me in time. I'm not really too sure that's the only place I know. Yeah, have a great week, because that includes all week, you know. So have a great week, have a great October, and a spooky season to you all.